will decide whether Mr. Gentry's entry should be disqualified." Kristen Versteeg, the third judge on the panel, shook her head. "Sorry, Garrett, I need to recuse myself, too." I can't speak for the whole crowd, but Kristen's announcement caught me off guard. Kristen Versteeg was a relative newcomer to Dalliance, having opened a small law firm in town just a few years before. Both her office and her swank condo community were out on FM 410, in the part of Dalliance that was more suburb than small town. The only reason she'd been given a spot on the judging panel was that, as a former member of the pageant circuit, she'd volunteered to coordinate the Lantana Roundup Rodeo Queen pageant. In short, Kristen was a Dalliance dilettante. I couldn't imagine she'd ever crossed paths with Tucker Gentry, and while she might know Eloise Carberry as the reigning president of the League of Methodist Ladies and a founding member of the Dalliance Fat Quarters Quilting Club, Eloise knew just about everybody. The two women couldn't have enough history to justify Kristen recusing herself. After all, Dalliance is the sort of town where you can't sneeze without someone's second cousin saying God bless. We had to play fast and loose with notions of bias if we wanted to put together a panel of judges for any of the fair competitions. Garrett Sims must have shared my surprise. "Really?" he asked. By way of an answer, Kristen moved a step away from the table. Garrett shrugged. "All right, then, I guess I'll make the call." Eloise Carberry handed him a plastic spoon, and Garrett picked up the first cup of ice cream. Tucker's. Garrett had just closed his fleshy pink lips around the spoon when my cell phone started vibrating in the front pocket of my jeans. I pulled it out, cussing under my breath. The screen indicated it was my cousin Bree calling. She was manning the Alamode booth over on the Midway. I hustled a few yards away, ducking behind a shelving unit lined with jars of preserves, and answered. "What's up?" "Hey," Bree said. She'd never moved faster than a sachet, but she sounded as if she'd been running. "I need you back here, pronto, you and Peachy, and bring that man of yours, too." "Is everything okay? Is Alice all right?" About the only thing Bree got worked up about was her precocious teenage daughter. Alice didn't raise much heck, but she still managed to get herself into some sticky situations. "She's fine as frog's hair, for now." "Well, I'm kinda busy here," I said. "Eloise accused Tucker of stealing an Alamode recipe." "Tally!" Bree snapped. "This is an emergency. You'll never in a million years guess who just moseyed past the booth." "Who?" "Sonny Anders." No. The last anyone had seen of Alice's daddy, he'd kissed his toddler child on the forehead before driving off into the night with an exotic dancer named Spamonti. "Yep, just strutting down the Midway, bold as brass." "Sweet Jesus," I breathed. Bree laughed. "I don't think the good Lord had anything to do with this." Garrett was still contemplating the 2 dishes of ice cream, lifting first one spoon to his lips, then the other, his freckled brow crumpled up like a used dish towel. Quietly as I could, I told Kristen Versteeg I had to go. "Family emergency," I explained. The corners of her mouth tightened a smidge, but she didn't show any other sign of interest or concern. I took Peachy by the hand and skedaddled out of there. As we ducked out of the barn, I glanced over my shoulder. I could see Garrett speaking, his hands clasped behind his back. Garrett's large frame blocked my view of Tucker Gentry, but I didn't need to see his grin to know what Garrett had decided. Eloise Carberry's face had gone as pink as her apron, and as Garrett spoke, she shook her head like a terrier with a chew toy. I felt bad that Garrett had to deal with Eloise on his own. Kristen had distanced herself from the ice cream debate and had her cell phone plastered to her ear, and I couldn't stick around to help smooth the waters. But if anyone could restore peace, Garrett was the man. Peachy and I made our way to the Remember the Alamode